Hi y'all, welcome back to By Devin. Today I'm putting together a set that was inspired by an Instagram challenge, and the theme was cherry blossoms. They are one of my favorite flowers. I know I'm not in the minority, lots of people love them. So super excited to choose some colors that would go with this CAD's nature plate that had 3 really great cherry blossom images on it. So I decided to stamp those first and use that as I chose which colors I wanted to pull. So I took this first image, and the second image is pretty similar, but it is darker for the wood part. And then the last one is more of like a silhouette. So I'm going to decide as I'm going if I'm going to end up using this third image or not. So this is one of the CAD's nature plates, and you can look in the info for the exact number. And I'm going to reverse stamp these first 2 that are not like the black silhouette. I'm going to get some of my Maniology colors, my Born Pretty, and my Queen colors so that I can get just the right look. I'm going to use some tape here to pull off any of the extra that I collected on this stamp, just so I'm all ready to put it onto the nails when I'm done with the dipping process. I'm going to start with this really pretty pink color from Queen. I'm going to use that on the outside petals and then come back and do a darker center for each of these little cherry blossoms. This was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be because my little dotting tool here was almost the exact size for these petals. So I just did a little dab in each one and it went really quick. Sometimes if things are too small, it can be hard to get the color just right inside the outline, not overlapping. Then I'm going to use this Born Pretty color that's my closest to brown. So I'm going to use that for the stem. You can see here I'm just doing the tapping motion. If you haven't done reverse stamping before, it is a little bit different than painting on a canvas where you do more of a brush stroke. You want to make sure that you're not going to accidentally pull up your outline. Then I was able to use this kind of fun metallic-y green. There's not a lot of them, but there's a few little leaves on this stamp, so I'm going to fill them in. And I used this Cuticle tool because those leaves were pretty small and the end of it is very small. And then I'm going to go back through. You can see me with this Born Pretty color doing just 1 dot in the middle. Look how great that looks. Love it. I'm going to grab this second stamp, and on this one the wood part is actually already filled in with black, so I just have to go in and do the petals of the cherry blossoms. It was super fast. Then I'm going to set these all to the side and let them kind of fully dry. It doesn't take very long, but I haven't found a problem with letting them dry longer. So you get done with this and then you can go on to your stamping. Onto your dipping, or if you're doing like a gel nail or another kind of process. So I pulled 2 colors, Rosa, which is this very light pink. It's actually a little bit darker than it looks here in the camera. It's a really pretty color. And then Cheerio, which is a new release from iDippedThat, has a blue with these chunky colors that I think are going to look just like the petals of the cherry blossom. I'm super excited about how that looks. I'm going to go through and do a layer of the Rosa on each of the nails and then go back with the Cheerio as an accent, leaving 2 at least with just the Rosa for those stamps. Stamping looks better, I think, on a more muted kind of neutral color, although you totally can stamp over bright colors and over chunky glitters, but for this one I really want those cherry blossoms to stand out. So I will meet you on the next step, y'all. iDippedThat is releasing 14 colors this spring. They've already released 10 of those colors. So there's 4 more that are coming at the end of May on May 26th. But this past Friday, they released 5, which included Cheerio, which you can see here. And they had additional 5 that they released right at the end of April, which included Rosa, which does have this really pretty glow effect to it. So you can find all of those on the iDippedThat website, and as you might remember, you can use Devin15 to help you save a little bit on these new colors. Especially Rosa is just going to go with so many things. And then Cheerio is just really fun. It's a circular glitter with these blue finer glitter colors in there. I think it's really unique. I didn't have anything that was this type of a glitter in my collection, so I was super excited when it arrived as part of my Ambassador new release colors. So you can see here it's looking really pretty. It's taking on a little bit more of a purple tone to it because I put it on top of the Rosa. On its own, on my swatch, it does pull a little bit closer to the blue that you can see in the dip container, but I really like this purple for the cherry blossoms, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. And I'm going to do one more dip here on my thumb to make sure I've got it all over. Sometimes when I dip on my tips, I miss just a little bit on the edge for these ones that are just a little bit larger. These both are really great colors. They are so smooth, they're going on so nicely. Just tapping down some of these larger glitters in Cheerio, and I'm going to put a clear over the top of all of these before I get ready to put on those stamps. One of my favorite clears to use is my KMG Clear as Day. I just think it is such a great clear. I don't have any problems with it being cloudy or too chunky. It's really smooth. It goes on super nicely, and I've had really good luck with it. So if you're looking for a great clear to put on top of your chunkies and even your solids, Clear as Day from KMG is an excellent choice. I do always use my firmer brush, like you can see here, after my clear layer. That's one of the tips to getting no cloudiness. A great clear and a stiff brush at the end of the clear process, and you're going to be ready to go. So I'm going to activate each of these. I do activate twice, so I activate once, do my buffing. And these are not going to take very much buffing at all. Even with that chunkier dip, it laid down really nicely. When I do my tips like this, I do run my file on kind of the underside of the edge, just especially with a glitter, to make sure no glitters got underneath that lip of my tips. Then here I am with that second activate. I'm going to let it soak in, but it doesn't take very long, just about the time to do all 5. I'm going to wipe them down with alcohol and then go in with 2 layers of top coat. So the first layer, I try to get a bead of the top coat on the end of my brush and go 1, 2, 3 on each. Then about the time I finish the 5th nail, I go back and do 1 more layer, and that second layer is really the layer that is so shiny. You can also be a little bit more careful with that second layer because you already have kind of a barrier between any of that leftover activator and your top coat, so you won't ruin your brush. So I do use the Maniology Sticky Base Coat, so I put that on top of my top coat. And here is the final look. I'm loving how these turned out. The Cheerio looks great. This was by Devin. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.